Every true prophet begins their journey with a calling. But for the seer, the calling is not only to speak, it is to see. Before their mouths are open to declare, their eyes are open to behold. For the seer prophet, sight precedes what sound. So before he say, he must see. So God does not just want prophet who speak from knowledge. He wants prophets who speaks from what? Visions. Because sometimes before the sound of your voice, you must first of all be sure that you have seen, and whatever you have heard is from the Lord. The first cry of Isaiah, he said, I saw the Lord. The Bible says, in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. So the first prophetic encounter of Isaiah wasn't a sermon, it was a vision. So a seer prophet don't start by preaching, you start by seeing, because it is from the sight that precedes the sound and then the sermon. He saw what others could not, and Isaiah beheld what was invisible to the natural eye. It was that moment of vision that his calling was what? Solidified. It was the moment that the calling was what? Birth. So this is the birthplace of true prophetic ministry, divine sight. It is your sight that gives birth to your prophetic ministry. Many young prophets, 6 platforms, other 6, titles, other 6 followers, but the true birthing place of a seer is encounter with the invisible God. God doesn't call seers with noise. He calls them by showing them something others what missed. And as a matter of fact, as a prophet, one of the things that will make you outstanding in society and your generation is your ability to see, your ability to behold, and your ability to see things that people have missed. It's not like people are not interested in seeing. There are many people that see different things, but they normally miss some things. So sometimes you see that people have visions, people have dreams, people have revelations, people have different encounters, but normally they miss most of the most important communications from the Lord. Because sometimes if what we want to see, we are done seeing it, we are eager to check out. And then I told you here before, when it comes to the vision realm, you must allow the Lord to do the communication. In the vision dimensions, your words matters not, because as a matter of fact, it is the Lord speaking. So over there you take instructions. Jeremiah 1. The Bible says, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you. I ordained you a prophet to the nations. Jeremiah 1 verses 5. But what followed this declaration was not a sermon. It was a test of sight. Moreover, the word of the Lord came to me saying, Jeremiah, what do you see? And then Jeremiah responded and said, I saw a branch of a tree. So you see, after God was done speaking with the man, he asked him, what do you see? It was a test of sight. God knew Jeremiah was called, but Jeremiah had to see it. So until you see your calling, it can never manifest. It takes sight to bring manifestation. Every manifestation precedes sight. So one of the things you must understand is that sight is important, and seers are people of sight. One of the most important future that will follow every prophet is the ability to see. Heaven confirms prophetic callings with sight. So the question is never just, are you called? It is also, what do you see? One day I came here and I was praying, and I was walking to and fro of the church and I was praying. All of a sudden, the wall at the back of the church disappeared. When it disappeared, I was seeing no wall. It was going and going. And then after that, it appeared again. And the Lord asked me, what do you see? And I said, I saw a church with that walls. He said, so shall it be. I will quicken my word to do it. Now, have you seen? He asked first, what did you see? I said, I saw a church with that a wall. And that's true, there was no wall. The wall disappeared. So when the wall disappeared, I called quickly the church people. I called the church leader and I said, we have to break the wall and then extend it, because God wants to bring extension. After further prayer, the Lord said, I'm not talking about that physical extension. I'm not just talking about this venue. I'm not talking about this place, but I'm talking about a church where walls will not be able to contain it. So work towards that. You see? So it was the vision that gave birth to that assignment. So the seer is born in stillness. Elijah heard a small still voice after an earthquake, wind and fire had passed. 1 Kings 19:11-12. The seer dimension isn't birthed in chaos. It is birthed in quiet what? Consecration. You must withdraw to see. You must be separated to have an encounter. Most of the men that saw in scripture were withdrawn. You cannot be around everybody all the time and still have visions all the time. It's not possible. You must be separated for your eyes to open. It's important, because in fact, what stops us and prevent us from seeing and from having proper visions and sight is the crowd. Some of us, our problem is the crowd. There is a type of higher punishment in this national security and then the high level security services uses to punish people. Torturing you physically is not even compared to that one. You know what they do? Normally, they will put you in a dark room and then take you away from people for 30 days. You will not know which time was a day and which time was like night. The room is dark, 24/7 is dark. So you will lose touch to time, touch to people, and touch to physical realities. As for food, they will give you once a while. After 30 days, if they bring you out, you will be disoriented. You will even see some people and you will not recognize them just by withdrawing you from people. And they will make sure you don't hear any sound. So that room is soundproof. You don't hear sound. It's just like the grave. So there is no sound, there is no light. You lose touch to everything except darkness for 30 days. And it is said that whenever they use it on people, in the third day, they confess and they beg for help. Because assuming being in darkness for 30 days, some of them, when they come out, they are no longer normal. That is because they have lost touch with reality, time, and then the world. But there were people in the Bible that lose touch with what? Time, lose touch with the world and everything. 40 days on the mountain still came, and they came down what? With the glory of God shining their faces. And they've not forgot the people they left behind. Whatever instruction they gave them, they still remember. You know why? Because they were there with the high man. They were there with the Savior. They were there with God himself. The glory of God was there. There are people, if we separate them, if we withdraw them from men and from their distraction, less than 1 week, they will do well. Their eyes will open and they will begin to see very well. Sight is not given to the casual people. It is a reward of what? Proximity. God told Moses, there is a place by me. Exodus 33 verses 21. So the closer you come, the clearer you see. Distant bless divine size. It blesses it. Intimacy brings them into focus. So the closer you come, the clearer the sight. Young prophet, do not chase titles, chase encounters. The seer dimension is born when God opens your eyes, not when you have a title. Chase encounters. Look, cry, Lord, open my eyes, that I may behold the wondrous things out of your law. Psalms 119 verse 18. The Bible also says, call unto me and I will answer you and show you great and mighty things which you do not what? No, Jeremiah 33 verses 3. Your destiny begins the moment you see what others ignore. The birthing of the seer is not marked by loud announcement, but by quiet unveilings. So God shows you something in secret before he sends you to the public. So my prayer for you is that may the Lord open your eyes. Vision is not merely a function of the eyes. It is a faculty of the spirit. You can have eyes and don't see. Just like some of you have the eyes yet you don't see. You can have ears and don't hear. Jesus can speak to 10 people and only one will hear him. Why? The rest of the 9 have ears but they couldn't hear. Only the few people have what? Eyes and ears, which were what? Spiritual sides. The natural eye can look, but only the spiritual eye can see. So there are many people with eyes but they cannot see. Many have eyeballs but no insight. Many see events but cannot interpret meanings. Many dream dreams but they are blind to the message. Spiritual sight is not about images. It is about understanding divine intelligence through visual language. The language of heaven is not English, it's not Spanish, it's not French. Sometimes the communications of the prophet, it comes in imagery and then symbols that need a divine interpretation. The difference between a prophet that is able to come out with some revelations and interprets events, times, happenings, and seasons from the rest, it's not just about sight sometimes, but it's about understanding of what you have seen. The Bible says when Daniel was done seeing the revelation, the angel of the Lord asked Daniel, understand ye it? And the man said no. So the angel needed to interpret the revelation to Daniel. In other words, seeing with that understanding and not seeing is the same thing. If I have seen the revelation and have not understood it, and somebody have seen it and have understood it, somebody have not also seen it, we are all the same. Most of you, it's not like you are not prophets. You have seen, you have heard, you have had encounters. The only challenge is that you have not understood what you have seen. That's the only problem. I met a prophet of God, very, very deep, so deep. But the problem of this prophet is symbols. He sees things, they are in symbols, they are in images, they are so coded. God normally code those messages that he needs weeks to decode them. So one day I met him and he was telling me a revelation he saw. Whilst he was talking, I was marveled. You know why? What he was telling me, I saw exactly the same thing. Yet I was able to interpret it. So he was telling me some of the things he has been seeing and all that and all that. He even told me how he saw revelation about Trump, the end time, and all, and whatever he saw about Trump came to pass. But he didn't understand what he was seeing. That time he told me that they've not yet voted Trump into power. Yet the revelation was a prophetic picture pointing to the success of the US election, which will be in favor of Donald Trump. Everything he saw it. But it happened in the form of bears. He said he saw that there was an eagle, and that eagle was surrounded by a lot of crows, those black bears, and they were all biting the eagle. He said they beat the eagle to understand the eagle was so tired tired and couldn't walk again. And the eagle was wearing the United States of America flag. And the crows too were also wearing the United States of America flag. And they were beating the eagle. They beat the eagle to understand the eagle was tired and couldn't fly again. And he said they tied some of the legs of the eagle that it couldn't fly. He said, but whilst that was happening, he saw another giant creature that came and untied the eagle and chased all the crows away, and then feed the eagle with food and water. And the eagle regained strength and flee above the cross that they couldn't touch him again. He was now in charge. Now, when he told me the revelation, I saw that revelation too sometime like that. I said, this prophet is deep. But he didn't know what it meant. You see, so he had the sight, he had the revelation, but understanded it not. So he was not different from a man who have no revelation because of lack of understanding. I now explained the revelation to him, and he was now marveled. And he said, hey, so me, I'm a prophet. Yes, but lacks understanding. You realize that whatever he saw was what took place in the US. And this guy is not from the US. He doesn't stay in the US. He has never left Ghana. Yet he has that revelation. So you must understand that revelations, that comes with symbols. It needs divine light. It needs interpretations.